Joining me now is Sky News contributor Teena McQueen and New South Wales One Nation leader Tanya Mihalek. Hello to both of you. Good to see you as always. Look, let's start with this listening tour of New South Wales. Chris Minns appointing these three commissioners to go on a tour and try and figure out a pathway to treaty. Teena, as I said, we've got 60% of us saying no. Why are these governments still forging ahead?
And have they not been listening up till now?
No.
I mean, it makes him look like a fool to say, oh, we're going to have a listening tour and we haven't bothered before, but now we're going to listen. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And the public feel very strongly about this, as we saw in The Voice.
Yes.
They pay particular attention. Now, Chris Minns, as you said, is one of the decent Labor premiers around the country, but this is a bad call, an absolute waste of money, and disgrace that they ignored that the people have spoken not that long ago regarding this. They don't want the division. They don't want it. So, Chris Minns, be very careful on this subject.
I completely agree because it's going against the will of the people. And Tanya, there's $5 million, as I said, that has been allocated in Chris Minns' budget to explore a treaty pathway. I'd be curious to know how much is actually being paid to these three people to go on their listening tour. What do you make of it?
Well, I think $5 million will be the start, OK? That's just this financial year. I've got no doubt there'll be millions more put towards this listening tour and treaty by stealth, because that's what this is. Look, it's very disappointing. I think Chris Minns is arguing that he has to proceed because this was an election promise before New South Wales voted on the matter. But come on, I mean, the way New South Wales voted on this resoundingly said no. The regional communities even more so. 60% for New South Wales. Some of the regional communities up to 80% said no. And $5 million and plus more could be better spent on cost of living measures. Yeah. Three commissioners, I think two of them are being signed up on 2-year contracts. We know what the outcome's going to be. Come on, three commissioners who have already in the past voiced their support for The Voice, OK? Yeah. They're only going to consult with Indigenous communities, and like Tanya Plebiscite, they'll probably choose the Indigenous groups and organisations they want to get the outcome that they want, OK?
Labor's stronghold is in those western suburbs seats. Now, this is where Liberals can come in and strike, because that's where the greater vote for the no was.
The Liberals haven't said anything, Teena. They're backing in this treaty listening tour. The Liberals in New South Wales, Mark Speakman, supports this listening tour proceeding.
Mark Speakman supported The Voice. As I've said 100 times on this show, Mark Speakman will not be the leader. So don't worry about Mark Speakman.
Well, he's still there, OK? He's still there.
He's still there. And, but I'm not surprised that Mark Speakman is backing this. It's a weak position to be taking, regardless.
Cowardice.
It's complete cowardice. But
this is what we need. It's been run by activists, Danica. OK, it's been run by activists. It's not being run by the Indigenous community. They also have Indigenous communities want outcomes for cost of living. They want housing. They want support. OK, they want their kids out of.
But where does it end? Because this is the thing. It doesn't. You're not going to. How can you solve actual general problems by doing this? And I'm going to touch on more with this with Warren Mundine shortly in the show. But look, there's been another damning report on Coles and Woolworths. The competition regulator has warned it will now scrutinise whether the twin chains are misusing market power to ratchet up prices, which are pinching low-income families. Teena, I wasn't surprised at all to hear these allegations, but they truly are disturbing. What needs to happen here, do you think?
There needs to be transparency. And to think this all started by some vigilant customers who noticed the price irregularities. Yeah. And it's such a shame, because people place so much trust in these big, that's where feed their children, that's where their home life is. And it's disgraceful that they have done this. So good on the results of these findings, but there's got to be transparency. And I'm pretty sure they'll be too scared to pull these tricks and much longer, Danica.
Well, especially in the middle of a cost of living crisis, Tanya, people genuinely cannot pay for their groceries, and now they've been caught out.
Look, I'm pleased that the ACCC had really given it such a very strong, 266-page interim report that sends a really strong message that, everyone's had a gutful of this sort of price gouging and, unfair, fake discounts and so forth. It's really critical that they are given this sort of support, the ACCC, because I know we had the Greens-led Senate inquiry earlier in the year, which had the unions, and that was very ideological, OK? They were just bashing both Coles and Woolworths. That's not what we want to do here. We want an outcome that actually involves consumers. We want suppliers involved. We want farmers involved, producers, everybody on the table, the whole supply chain, understanding where is all the money going? Because it's a $120 billion industry, the supermarkets, and money's being made, but it's not going to the farmers, it's not going to the producers, it's not going to the suppliers, and it certainly isn't benefiting the consumers.
No.
So all power to the ACCC.
Fair prices for everyone.
Oh, totally. Absolutely.
It'll be a measured approach coming from the ACCC, but it'll be one that will actually expose what's going on. And in the end, let's get, it'll have to go back to legislation at some point because it's legislative loopholes that need to be fixed up.
Absolutely.